Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my November TBR video. And I'm super excited for this because I love a TBR video. You know I love picking my TBR through prompts in my jar. Now this is going to be the last video featuring the interim TBR jar because I've actually ordered a new one and I'm so gutted that it's not here in time for me to be able to use it to film this video. December's TBR video will feature the new jar, so I'm super excited about that. Before we actually get into picking today's prompts, we are actually going to refill the jar. So you're going to watch me refill the jar. First of all, I'm going to do the boring part off camera, which is cutting up the pieces of paper I write on. But then you guys gave me all the TBR prompt ideas from both YouTube and TikTok videos. So I'm going to be using those prompts to write into the jar. To write the prompts to go into the jar. Wow, I can't talk. We did kind of read some of the books that I had on my TBR for last month, but not all of them. And so I let my Discord members choose which of the 2 books I didn't read from last month to pop into this month's TBR picks. So we'll start with that because, no, actually we won't. But they're 2 of the books that we are going to be putting in. So I'm excited to tell you about those ones. We are going to go for another 15. I am going to have a set of books that I've already decided I want to read because I've checked through Libby and I've seen what Libby holds are coming through soon, and also I've just got a few that I really want to read because I think they're going to get me back into reading properly and out of my dreaded reading slump. So we will have some already decided, but then the TBR jar is going to decide the fate of everything else. But first, before we start, as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please can you do me a massive favour, press that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. I appreciate you guys' support so much. You guys are honestly incredible and this little community just makes my world every single day. But yes, thank you. Now let's get into doing these prompts. Okay, so I have my pieces of paper. I have my 5 different highlighter colours. The way I normally write them is I will write it, put a little love heart, highlight it, and then fold it up, put it in the jar. So I'm going to go through YouTube first and have a look at the comments. So first one we have is a book with a flower on the cover. Let's do that one in purple. Oh no, wait, I've got 6 colours in highlighters because I have a pink one too. Let's get that one. So we have a book with a flower on the cover, and then we will put it into here. Right, let me change the angle on this. Okay, so welcome to my chaotic desk for the day. We have a black book. Now, I don't really have many of those, so that will be an interesting one. So we're going to do a black book. We highlight, do a heart just for some colour, and then hold it up, whack it in the jar. We have, oh, I like this one, a book with a title you wouldn't want to say out of context. And the thing I like about some of these is that if I don't have a book that fits the bill, I can find one and I can read it on my Kindle or I can buy one, something like that. So it's kind of exciting because I get to get some different books. We've got single word title. I'm just writing these really quickly, so they're not necessarily the neatest, but as per usual, my camera's running out of battery, so we gotta hurry up. Right, so next, I love this one. This is from, I don't know who those other ones were from, but it was at AFV87. The next ones are from the lovely Lauren Dock. So she's done a traffic light system. So it's a book which will complete a series, which she's done as red. So the only thing I've got is orange. Oh, I should have done that as amber. Oh well, never mind. Then it's amber, a book which will continue a series. We'll do that in yellow. This is so exciting. Hold it up many times. And then a book which will start a series. My handwriting gets like so dodgy when I'm trying to write fast. So we're going to do that in green, obviously, in the jar. Okay, so my door went because my sister popped around for a minute. So we had to take a quick pause and now we're back. So we're going to carry on. The next one is a book with cozy vibes for winter, which I love the idea of. So cozy vibes for winter. And then we do blue for the snow. We've got a book by a popular author, which I feel like will be a good one because I have quite a few books by popular authors on my TBR. That's going to be a good one. This, oh, that was all from Ilya95. We'll try and read people's usernames out if I can. Then another one from Lauren Dock, which is a book recommended by Doe, which is quite a funny one, if I do say so myself, because we always take those book recommendations sort of a given at this point. So that one is going in. Lauren also put a book you don't want to be seen reading in public, which I don't know if I have many of those really, but let's put it in anyway. Let's go for pink. The only thing about doing this is I should probably leave the pen to dry before I highlighter it, because it does put black marks in it. Actually, I might try let's swap the pen out and see if it makes a difference. So let's go for a standard biro. Okay, what else do we have? We have another one from Lauren. A book of your Patreon followers' choice. Send us all a video of your shelves and we'll vote and pick a book for you. Okay. I feel like they would absolutely love to do that. Especially Lauren and Joe, they always laugh about how they're coming up in a few weeks' time for the book party event that we're going to, and that they're gonna pull off a heist to steal Teddy and all of my books. So yeah, love that. So that was all of the ones from YouTube. We're now going to move on to my TikTok video. I like this one. This is from the author A.G. Harris, who I'm actually reading a copy of her new fantasy book at the minute. So a book with less than 100 reviews, sorry, which I think is such a cool one. Then we're going to move on to Mel. Mel gave me a few. So the first one is a book that was published the year I was born. She also did book with a cover you don't like, a book that's been on your TBR the longest. She also did the biggest book on your TBR. So for the biggest book on your TBR, we'll go orange. I cut up the paper quite big this time, so I feel like the actual things are quite big, because we've got quite a full jar already and there's quite a few more to go. So we're gonna have to stuff them all in there. Cover I don't like, we'll do yellow. And then a book published the year I was born will do green. I don't know why I do it like this. I mean, I don't know how other people do it, but it's just how I like it. And then let's see what else we've got. So Sam, who's the Life of Webster on TikTok, we love our little Webster, he's so cute, has done a book or author that starts with the letter of your name. I'm going to write it exactly like that actually. Okay, and then Jade T gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prompts. No, 7, 8. I don't know if we're going to fit all them in. Right, so we're going to do a book over 500 pages. Now, I actually think that one's quite an easy one to do in comparison to this next one. So the next one is a book with less than 300 pages, which I don't actually think I have many of on my TBR, but we shall see. Tummy is actually rumbling. I am absolutely starving doing this. So next thing's next. The next thing on the list is to eat. So we've got next book in a series you're in the middle of, which I like. We've got a couple of kind of similar prompts already in there, but I like it because I really want to try and focus on reading as many of the series I'm in progress with as possible. So, ooh, I like this one as well. Book published before 2020. Oh, that was quite a good one. So we've got one for the highest and lowest rated on Goodreads. Well, I think that might be quite a difficult one to do because I would have to literally search them all to figure that out. So I think I'm going to skip that one. She also gave me a book with an animal on the cover and a special edition / sprayed edged book, but I'm not going to do the special edition one because I have so many special editions that I actually need to read them, and that's a bit open-ended, so I'm going to skip that one. So a book with an animal on the cover, because we don't have much space left in the jar, so we can use those in the future. So Charlotte, lovely Charlotte's Book Talk, a book with a colour in the title, and then she said a book that has a person on the cover, which I like because I've actually got quite a few books with people on the cover recently, especially like in special edition territory, so that'll be good. Maybe if I cut these up smaller I would fit more in the jar, but anyway, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Right, and then we have, I think we only have one comment left, which was Emma, and she's got 4. So give a book a second chance, which I like that actually. There are a few that might fit within that. I think that's definitely going to be more of like a Kindle or audiobook prompt than a physical one, because most physicals that are DNF I would probably just sell or give to charity, so I probably wouldn't have many of those left. A new author, that in there. Then we have a 5-star prediction, which is a good one. Always a disappointing one if it doesn't end up being a 5-star, but it's a good one. And then I think the last prompt that she had was buy a new book and read it now / next. Wow. Buy a new book and read it now / next. Let's go. Right, well, I have 2 pieces of paper left, so I feel like I need 2 more prompts. I did miss a few, maybe we could add them in. Let's do the special edition / sprayed edge. Let's do that one. There may be a time where I want an open-ended prompt, who knows? And then we need one more. What could we do? Should we do let Teddy pick a book? So I can put like 2 options down and whichever one he goes to is the one that he picks. And we'll do, actually no, we'll do it in orange because orange is Teddy's colour. Okay, going in. What I am going to do is I'm quickly going to empty all of them out, mix them up a little bit and put them back in because we've got the old ones at the bottom and the new ones at the top, and I want to just kind of like give them a little mix together. So we'll do that quickly. Actually, first things first is let's put all of the highlighters away and the pens. Right, so here is the jar. Let's make this stuck them in so hard. We're not going to get them all out, but we'll give it a go. Because you can see all the little ones, the end ones. Oh, there's even more in there. We do have these little books, which I'm going to take out because I have actually read them. And we're just going to mix them around. That'll do, so let's just randomly drop them in so that I get a good random little mix. Push them down. We're not going to be able to shake it, so this is the order in which I'll probably end up pulling them out. We have a very full jar. That's exactly what we wanted. So now it's time for us to do our TBR poll. I think what I'm going to do, normally I would sit on the floor and I'd actually go through it with you, but the majority of books that I want to try and get through are fairly related or special edition related if I can, which are all on the shelves behind me. So I'm going to put you in front of me and then I'll pull options off the TBR cart next to me if there's any on there so that you can see the shelves properly. So let's do that. Let's make a start with deciding on what we're going to read in the month of November. I do have a little list going here. I already have some books on the list and let's talk about them because there are reasons that they are on the list. So first of all, we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, and that is my Patreon book club book of November, so obviously that one has to be on there. We've also got an audiobook that I'm actually currently in the middle of, which is Bad Girl Reputation. I'm actually about 50% of the way through this, so I don't think it's going to take me very long at all, so that's on there. Then also we have a couple of options that I have requested on Libby that I think are going to come through. So the first one is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I am actually really excited to listen to that, so I definitely want that on the list. And then I actually have part 1 of the dramatic or dramatized audio of Cursed Fates in the Zodiac Academy series. Now, I do actually have Cursed Fates in physical form, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the first half, and then because this is a chunky book, I am going to read the second half in physical form. Now, I do also have book number 6, which is Fated Throne as well, which I would also like to get into because Zodiac Academy is a comfort series of mine. It is so good. I am enjoying it so much. The books are huge, but they're really easy to read and the font is nice and big as well. So I think I am going to try and get through those 2. In between book 5 and 6, there is a couple of novellas in the reading order that I am doing. So I've also included those on the list also. I've included them as 1 book rather than 2 because they're novellas. So there's those 4, I guess. We then have the 2 books that my lovely Discord members were voting on, or which book they wanted to carry over from last month. Of the books that I had on my TBR last month, we didn't read Flinfluence, Air of Storms, Wilder, Rewind It Back, or The Dare. I also didn't read some Kristen Hannah books, but I'm keeping those not included because if I want to do my Kristen Hannah reading vlog, then I want to have all of those in that, and I don't really want to separate them. So I'm keeping those out of it. The result was that Rewind It Back and Air of Storms were the 2 highest voted books, and they will be carried over to this month. So we've got Air of Storms and Rewind It Back. Like I said, we pick 15. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to read all 15. It means that I can mood read from this TBR, preferably. We actually already have 8 books on the list because of all of that, which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7. I counted an extra 1. We have 7 books to pick from the TBR jar. Okay, so we have our very full TBR jar and we need to pick 7 prompts. Let's hope for some good ones. Right, this is a new one because it's a big one. A 5-star prediction. Ooh, okay, 5-star prediction. Oof. We have so many that we could potentially pick from because we've got 2 fantasy rows and we've also got a romance shelf, but then we also have all of these incredible books up here. Now, I have heard some really good things about some of these. Let's pick a fairy loot. Okay, so we have a lot of books up here that could potentially be 5-star reads, potentially. One of them being Metal Slinger. I have heard insane things about this book, so that is definitely an option. And also we have Firebird and Immortal Consequences. I've heard insane things about as well, so I kind of feel like one of those two should be involved. Ooh, it's so difficult. Do you know what? We're gonna go Metal Slinger. I've heard so many good things. I've just realised my head was completely cut off during that clip, but Metal Slinger, we're gonna do it. That is book 1 from the prompts. Okay, let's go number 2. We've got another new one. Let's see what it is. A book with a person on the cover. Okay, let's do this. I think I actually know what I might want to read. Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I think I might want to read this, so we're going to go with this. This is a paranormal romance. I am slightly less excited about reading it than I thought I would be, because I found out it is a paranormal romance and not a kind of like small town cowboy romance like her other series was, but I think I'm gonna give it a go. This is one of my latest paperbacks, so I feel like reading it is a really good shout, and yeah, I think this one. We're gonna do this one. Okay, this is an older one, it's smaller. Let's see what we've got. A book with a sprayed edge. Okay, let's do another special edition. Why not? What do we want to read this month? It could be any sprayed edge. Are there any of my fairy loots that I want to like get straight to? Like that I'm feeling like, do you know what? I think there might be a few that are sort of standalones. So I feel like that might be a good shout. In fact, one of them, I think I've got Gifted and Talented by, is it Olivia Blake? Let me just have a look at the blurb for that one, because I feel like that is just like a standalone book. From the New York Times bestselling author of the Atlas Six comes the story of 3 siblings who, upon the death of their father, are forced to reckon with their long festering rivalries, dangerous abilities, and the crushing weight of all their unrealised adolescent potential. Where there's a will, there's a war. Thea Wren, the brilliant CEO of Renfair Magitech and so-called father of modern technology, is dead. Any one of his 3 telepathically and electrokinetically gifted children would be a plausible inheritor to the Renfair throne, or at least so they like to think. Meredith, textbook accomplished eldest daughter and the head of her own groundbreaking biotech company, has recently cured mental illness. You're welcome. If only her father's fortune wasn't her last hope of keeping her journalist ex-boyfriend from exposing what she really is, a total fraud. Arthur, second youngest congressman in history, fights the good fight every day of his life, and yet his wife might be leaving him and he's losing his re-election campaign. But his dead father's approval in the form of a seat on the Renfair throne might just turn his sinking ship around. I don't know how you say this. Eilish? I'm not quite sure. Once the world's most famous ballerina has spent the last 5 years as a run-of-the-mill marketing executive at her father's company. After a life-altering injury put an end to her prodigious career. I would have thought that said prestigious, but prodigious? I've never heard of that word before. Anyway, she might be lacking in accolades compared to her siblings, but if her father left her everything, it would finally validate her worth by confirming she's been his favourite all along. On the pipeline of gifted kid to clinically depressed adult, nobody wins, but which Wren will come out on top? Do you know what? That actually sounds alright, so I think we're going to do that one. Let me grab it. Okay, so this is the fairy loot copy that I have of Gifted and Talented. So yeah, ooh, money is the family business, magic is the family curse. I like that. That's really cool. Let's add that to the list. Another one. Okay, let's go again. It's hard to try and get them out when there's so many of them in there. I've got another little one. Oh, this one just says dual POV. So which book should we do for that one? I'm feeling like a romance would be a good idea. We could put that one on. Let me see if I can grab it. Not sure if it is a dual POV or not. I think yes, it is. It's dual POV. So Dating Dr. Dill, I've heard amazing things about this book from Delinka. She has told me, I was saying to her that I was going to get rid of it and she was like, please, 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 will you read it first? So we're going to give it a go. So Karina Mann dreams of having a love story like her parents, but she prefers restoring her classic car to swiping right on dating apps. When her father announces he's selling her late mother's home, Karina makes a deal with him. He'll gift her the house if she can get engaged in 4 months. But her search for a soulmate becomes impossible when her argument with Dr. Prem Verma, host of the Dr. Dill Show, goes viral. Now the only man in her life is the one she doesn't want. Dr. Prem Verma is dedicated to building a local community health centre, but he needs to get donors with deep pockets. The Dr. Dill Show was doing just that until his argument with Karina went viral and he was left shortchanged. That's when Karina's meddling aunties present Prem with a solution. Convince Karina he's her soulmate and he'll regain funding for his clinic. Even though his views on love matches and arranged matches conflict with hers, Prem finds the more he's with Karina, the more he begins to believe she's the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with. But for Prem and Karina to find their happily ever after, they must admit that hate has turned... Oh my god. But for Prem and Karina to find their happily ever after, they must admit that hate has turned into fate. Okay, that actually sounds pretty decent, so we're gonna give this one a go. Well, it's gonna be added to the huge pile of possibles for the month. We're gonna mood read it. And based on how we've been reading recently, who knows how many we're going to get done. But let's see. Okay, let's go. We've got 3 left. A read I am scared of. Oh, okay. This is potentially a good one because I'm scared to read a lot of my Fairy Loots and Special Editions in case I don't like them. And then I bought them and I'm like, what now? I know exactly which one I'm going to do. I know exactly which one, actually, thinking about it and looking. Can I get it out? We're going to go for Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Is that how you say it? And the reason that I'm scared of this book is because I have heard amazing things about Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but in order to get to that series I need to read the Shadow and Bone series, and I am scared to go into it and not like this series and feel like I have to read it in order to read the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Yeah, I'm kind of scared to start this one. I also really dislike this cover a lot. It's not supposed to be this cover, but yeah, this is kind of one that I am scared to get into, but also would be a really good series for me to get through because the first 3 books, well, the Shadow and Bone series, they're all quite small, so it would be good because then it'd get some of the books off my physical TBR. We're gonna go for that one. We're gonna go Shadow and Bone. And if you haven't realised, we're focusing on the physical TBR this month because we really need to get it down. We need to get it down. We're going all in. We're focusing on it. Let's go for this one. A book published before 2020. Right, I think I know exactly which one I want to do for this. I'm just hoping it was released before 2020, but we shall see because I really, really want to start this series. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Let's see when it was published. Should tell me in the front of the book. No! I think it was 2021. Let me Google when it was first published in case it's just that edition. When was Once Upon a Broken Heart published? 2021! No! Okay, right. That's really annoying. Really annoying. Book published before 2021. 2020. It's this one? I kind of have wanted to read this one for a while. Wait, I think this might be one. I think this might be. Let me double check. Ooh, okay. This was actually originally published in 2013, which is ages ago. So this definitely fits the bill. I have been intrigued by this book for a very long time and Pete bought me this for my birthday last year. So I really should get to it. But yeah, I think I know it's like kind of a sad book, but again, I don't really know much about things because I tend to buy them without reading the blurbs. Let's give it a read and see what we think. If you'd been with me, everything would have been different. Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Now they do their best to ignore each other. Autumn has her boyfriend Jamie and her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school, the one that everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross paths, and the growing nagging thought that maybe things could have been different. Maybe they should be together. And as time passes, Autumn realises she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. If I'm honest, it doesn't really scream read me. It's not really like pulling me in, but what I will say is I need to get some of these things read. We're gonna put it on the TBR and we will see if we end up getting to it. If anybody's read this book and it is decent, will you let me know? But yeah, let's see. In fact, let's have a look to see what its average Goodreads rating is and if anybody that I know has read it. If he had been with me. Okay, so its average rating out of 560,000 is 3.79. Friends rating and reviews, so we've got 4, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so that's not looking like too bad. Let's add that to the list, see how we get on. Last, certainly not least, let's pick book number 15. Okay, it's an old one. Let's hope it's a good one. Book with foiled edges. I don't have a book with foiled edges anymore. I had one book and I wrote this prompt specifically for that book. I don't own it anymore, so therefore we can't do that one. Let's go again. Hopefully I can do this one. Ooh, okay. That's intriguing because I don't know who my favourite author would be. But favourite author's first book. Oh my god, I would have to know who my favourite author is. Am I gonna go romance? Am I gonna go fantasy? Like, what are we gonna say? See, I guess if I think about my favourite books and I think about my favourite series, we've got ACOTAR, which is Sarah J Maas, and her first one was Throne of Glass, which I've read. We've got Callie Hart, Quicksilver, or maybe Liz Tomford is the Windy City series. I wonder if Liz Tomford has got anything. Let's have a look on Goodreads. Let's search Liz Tomford. It's not really showing me much other than the Windy City series, so let's Google it. Liz Tomford's first book. Mile High. Oh, right, love that. What about Alex Astor? Alex Astor first book. Curse of the Night Witch. which is the first book in the middle grade Emblem Island series. I don't know it. Curse of the Night Witch. Let's have a look on Goodreads. Like, I can't really tell you what my favourite author would be, or who my favourite author would be, should I say. Oh, it's got really mixed reviews. Really mixed reviews. Okay, I'm not feeling that. Okay, I'm not really sure what to do with this prompt because I'm not really sure of like a favourite author that I would have, to be fair. So what I'm going to do in this, I've never done this before, I'm actually going to put this back in the jar after I've picked one out, and we'll revisit that at a future time because I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go with that one. Oh, we've not had very much luck for this last one. Right, let's go for this. And I hope it's a good one. Fake dating trope. Okay, we can work with that. We can work with that. Let's just do a little Google. Let's see books with the fake dating trope. Books with the fake dating, or fake dating trope. Let's have a look. Are there any that I have on this list? I wonder if there's any fake fantasy books with fake dating trope. Wait a minute. Wait a second. This is going off Google. This is going off Google. We don't know whether this is true or not, but there's a particular book that says it has the fake dating trope, which I think I'm getting in my Fairy Loot, which is due any day. And that would be really cool if I could read that straight away. Right, October Fairy Loot, where are you? I think it's in the adult box. No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. Okay, never mind. Fake dating trope. Ooh, From Blood and Ash. We could do that, but I don't want to start that big of a series right now. Are any of these fake dating? I'm sure some of them are. Wait a minute. Yes! Boom! Is it the first in the series though? Don't know. Let's have a look. It's number 2. Doesn't matter. Okay, it says that you don't have to read these in order. So even though this is book 1, we're gonna go for book 2 on the TBR because it says fake dating my enemy should be easy as long as I don't fall in love with him, as like the tagline at the top. And when I was kind of looking at my TBR quite a few videos ago, I'll tag it in case you want to watch it, but I did read the blurb of this and decide that I wasn't going to get rid of it because it sounds so good. Dominic Hardy may have a fancy engineering degree, but he doesn't know a thing about baking. He doesn't even like sugar. So when he inherits my stepfather's resort with my bakery in the middle of it, neither of us are happy. But then Dominic gives me a proposal I can't refuse. I'll keep my bakery with one condition. Fake date him for 5 months, keep his ex away by pretending we're in love, stare into his piercing green eyes, maybe share a kiss. I loathe him and his filthy mouth even when he's using it on me. There's a fine line between love and loathing, and I think I've made the mistake of blurring it. Actually sounds quite good. So we are gonna pick that one for our fake dating trope. Oh my god, we got through them all. Let's do a quick roundup. You would not believe the amount of times that I have accidentally knocked the camera trying to set it going whilst lifting these books up, honestly. So we have a very large physical TBR for the month of November. Let's go through all the physical books we've got and then we will go through everything else. So obviously, first of all, we have Bad Girl Reputation because I'm currently listening to that on audio. We have carryover number 1, which is Rewind It Back. We have carryover number 2, which is Air of Storms. Then we have our fake dating trope between love and loathing. Then we have our book published before 2020, which is If He Had Been With Me. Then we have a read that I am scared of, which is Shadow and Bone. We then have a dual POV, which is Dating Dr. Dill. We have a book with a sprayed edge, which is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. We have a book with a person on the cover, which is Soul Searching by Lila Sage. We have a 5-star prediction in Metal Slinger. Then we have the 2 Zodiac Academy books that I would like to read this month, Cursed Fates and Fated Throne. We also have the 2 Zodiac novellas, which I would like to get to because I need to finish those before I can go into one of those books. Then we have, the camera moved. Come back. Oh. Apparently we're just moving over this way now. Sorry about that. So then we have Not Quite Dead Yet, which is my Patreon book club book of the month. Got there. Then we have Summer in the City, which is an audiobook that's going to come through. And I think that is all 15. Oh my god. I'm actually quite excited about how many of these books are just like random picks that I've maybe wanted to read for a while or have had them for ages. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get a decent amount done. And the amount of special edition books that we have here, we have 4. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, wait, we have 3. We have 3 special edition books, but that's better than no special edition books because your girl needs to get reading these things. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Honestly, this has been a journey, but if you've stuck around till this point in the video, let's go for the purple heart, just a single purple heart. You know why the purple heart? We're just going to go for the purple heart. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.